July 2019 Astro Tarot forecast. I am shuffling the Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquis and Scott Murphy. It's the tarot deck that I used in the Psychic Tarot readings for July. Please take a look at them and let's see if any of the cards that I pull match up to the ones that came through in that reading as well. Please watch your sun sign, your ascendant or your rising sign, and your moon sign for a full dose of divination for the month and a full dose of cosmos for the month as well. So Taurus, where do I begin? It's eclipse season and it's a Mercury retrograde. On the 1st of July, Mars entered Leo and he will remain there through the 18th of August. This planet of drive and determination and aggression is in the 4th house. Watch your tone with your mother and your mother figure at this time, the 4th house of the maternal. And there is the need to be careful in the home with knives, with sharp instruments, tools, and with cords and electricity, sparks, and fire. Now, I just give all of the meanings. I'm not trying to say everyone's house is going to be sparked up over here, but there are so many different ways this could apply with Mars in the 4th that it's worth mentioning. So old toasters that need to be thrown out is the first thing I get. They just need to go away and be recycled and get some new equipment in the home. And there's a feistiness to this. You want to spend a lot of energy in your home environment and it might aggravate you to leave the home. So you get very protective of your domain with Mars in the 4th. So neighborhood watches, you're out there watching for intruders. You know, there's a boundary that might need to be created here around the property for you to feel safe. There is a desire to be at home. I think I said that. Now, our new moon solar eclipse occurs today on the 2nd at 10 degrees of Cancer, and this is in the 3rd house, a fresh new start in the transportation area, your sibling sector, your communication sector, which is beautiful because Mercury will retrograde this month on the 7th through the 31st, which hinders your communication style regardless of what sector it's in. But that's when understanding seems to slow down and people can misread each other. This new moon on the 2nd, this solar eclipse, affords you a good week without being tongue-tied. I'm already starting to be tongue-tied. Mercury is my ruling planet. I think I'm like biting my tongue off in these forecasts. On the 3rd, Venus enters Cancer. The planet of love and attraction and prosperity enters the communication sector. Writers, screenwriters, editors, journalists, public speakers, salesmen and women, teachers and students benefit from all of this energy. This is 3rd house of expression, and it could relate to your career easily and what you do for a living. So these are effortless placements here. And they help smooth over, Venus especially, smooth over your relationship with siblings, especially sisters, the feminine energies in your life. On the 7th, Mercury does retrograde at 4 degrees of Leo, back through 23 degrees of Cancer throughout the remainder of the month, going direct on the 31st. Revising the home, reviewing the home and what's in it and what's necessary and what can be thrown away. And then also retrograding deeper into that communication sector. So really revise, review, and rewrite the resume, the speeches, the pitch that you're going to give in your career. It's not the best time for travel either because this retrograde occurs in a travel sector for you, local travel. But I understand that people don't always go by the astrology and they continue on in their travel plans, as you should. Whatever works for you, you have free will. It just means you should expect delays and things to be a little confusing while you're on the road or in the air. You might have different seat assignments and things like that. So just be aware as much as you can in those circumstances. This is also not the time to buy a vehicle from the 7th through the 31st. Even though I mentioned the transportation at the top of the month, you really have a good week to do that in July, which is the first week. And then I would suggest August 1st through the 18th to do something like that. You're retrograded in this sector, and I feel like you'll be misled and not understand the contracts appropriately, and this is a time to avoid contracts in general. The signature. To root yourself into a commitment in a retrograde is like putting a reverse timestamp on something that just feels like you're constantly moving backwards in the project. So on the 16th, we have our full moon total lunar eclipse at 24 degrees of Capricorn in the 9th house of foreign travel, study, and higher education, higher learning, and belief systems, politics, law, metaphysical experience. This house is huge, but there's closure here for Taurus. Some of you are returning from long distance trips, and some of you are ending a field of study and receiving degrees and certifications that you've worked really hard for. On the 22nd, the Sun enters Leo. On the 27th, Venus enters Leo. And on the 31st, we have an additional new moon, 2 new moons in Leo. Well, the first new moon is in Cancer, but the second one is in Leo, and that's called a black moon, because we normally see 1 full moon and 1 new moon a month. But here we see 2 new moons, and that is a very powerful initiating day. This is the 4th house of home. Taurus might be looking for a new environment and a new place to plant roots, to grow a family, to create a new creative space, a new place where you only work on your artistic endeavors and your private comfort sanctuary is what you can call it. Your she shed. The 4th house is very private, but it's also where you feel safe. And Taurus could be inspired to create a guest house or a private nook in the home that's just their area. You're zoning things out right now. I get a lot of boundaries going on here for Taurus and Taurus rising. Let's see what's here in your tarot. And my central air kicked on, and the fan, I'm in the room where the fan draws in the air, so I'm sorry if you hear that. Let's see what comes up here. I just want to take a moment to show you the bracelet that I did co-create that is for sale in the link below in the Show More section. This is the Summer Solstice Energy Bracelet, Seasons in Stone, that I co-created with Melissa Accessories. If you're interested in the soft pink jade, blue calcite, and druzy quartz bead, it's all for intuition, positive healing energy, and I would love if you checked it out. I'm excited about this. I've never helped to create a piece of jewelry before, and now I'm getting my hand in it, literally. Let's see what's here for you. This is the retrograde, 4 of Swords. Retreat, recuperate, revise, rest, rewrite. Take 4 weeks out of really strong energy. Step back out of a dramatic situation and reassess. Knight of Cups. There's an invitation, an offer, or perhaps a message for you this month of intimacy, an emotional message. Let's see what else is here. Wow. Some of you are getting proposed to. This is a marriage proposal together. Happiness, warmth, success, love, marriage, family, babies. Ooh. You could be trying to get pregnant after 4 weeks, 4 months time, and you could be eclipsed in a little nugget if you're of age and able. Wow, look at this, the sun and the moon. Yeah, you're eclipsed in a baby, all right. It could be a creative project too, if that doesn't apply to you. But wow, that's the eclipse vibes right there. You have another card. The Nine of Wands. Some of you have many creative irons in the fire, and you feel defensive about what you've created, and you should. You should patent it, protect it legally. However, make the plans here this month. Take action on August 1st to do all the contract stuff. You actually have another card, Wheel of Fortune. Wow. The Sun, the Moon, and the Wheel of Fortune. Trust the divine timing of your life. It's like, there's no better time than now to make a plan, envision it, create it, get your manifestation on. Taurus, this is pretty fabulous. And there's no need to push crazy forward this month, but you can plan. You can assess brilliantly with the Four of Swords. And trust your intuition, as always. But when I see the moon, it is very dreamlike, and to trust the REM sleep and premonitions you receive while you're at rest and resting. You might get a message in a spiritual way in just that mode that I mentioned. That message doesn't have to be like, hey, what are you doing? It could be, hey, I got a message from Spirit. They're there. You just have to listen. Thank you so much for listening to this forecast. Taurus, I wish you a beautiful month of July. Should you require private counsel, I'm at audreyalison.com. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.